Hi everyone, welcome to Divine Mercy Sunday, or the second Sunday of Easter. Couple things. First, please pray for the repose of the soul of Pope Francis. And, you can just do that by praying for him, maybe offer some a Mass intention for him. And then also pray for our new future Pope, that he be a man after God's own heart and that he lead the Church according to the will of God. And then turning to this Sunday and the content of the Sunday, this is Divine Mercy Sunday, instituted according to what Jesus told Saint Faustina, that the Sunday after Easter should be dedicated to Jesus's divine mercy. And then Saint John Paul II made sure that that happens. So all happens according to God's will. And this particular reading is very very interesting. It's one of my favorite ones to do a homily on, and it's the same homily every time because when a priest opens up the Mass with the sign of the cross, he then says, "Peace be with you." No, that's not true at all. He says, "The Lord be with you." That's the catch. But if it's a bishop, the bishop says, "Peace be with you." No, okay. And why is that? Well, if you remember, the last time the apostles had seen Jesus, right? Because they saw him on Good Friday, and what did they do? They betrayed Jesus. They all ran away, okay? The only one that stayed apparently was John, according to the Gospel of John. Everyone else ran away from Jesus, who they had been with for 3 years. They swore up and down they would stay with him, they would die for him, this, that, and the other thing, and that just didn't happen, okay? So now they're in the upper room. And what happens? The door is locked. Nonetheless, Jesus comes in. Okay? And you got to put yourself in these guys' shoes. They must be terrified because everything Jesus said about himself is true. And now they have God himself standing right in front of them, and they betrayed him. Okay, what is Jesus going to say, right? And the words out of Jesus' mouth aren't condemnation. They're not judgment. He simply says, "Peace be with you." Okay, that must have been the greatest relief in the history of the world. Okay, those are the words the apostles hear, and that's why to this day, because the successor of the apostles are the bishops, that's why the bishop to this day says, "Peace be with you," because Jesus gives that message of peace to those who follow him, even though sometimes we do in fact betray Jesus. Okay, and so you hear "Peace be with you," but we also hear that Thomas wasn't there that day. And he said, "I am not going to believe unless I put my hand in Jesus' side." So what happens? The next time they meet, Jesus shows up and again says, "Peace be with you," to Thomas, who is doubting. Okay, and he says to Thomas, "Okay, do what you have to do. If you need to put your finger through the hole in my side, go ahead and do it. Do what you need to do, but do not be unbelieving, but believe." Okay, and this is expressed in divine mercy, right? This is God's mercy upon us who are hard-headed. We're slow to believe. We swear up and down that we're gonna do the right thing, and then we fail. Okay, and that's why it's so good on Divine Mercy Sunday to go to confession, right? We will have confessions on Friday before, Saturday evening before, but we'll also have it on Divine Mercy Sunday itself. And so we just pray during this coming of this Divine Mercy Sunday for humility to be able to go and say, "I'm sorry" to Jesus, and to receive absolution, and so we can be completely filled with him in the sacrament and one day see him in heaven face to face.